Hey little ho, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see in the title, it's gonna be a sad story. A man went to prison for a crime that he didn't commit. Thankfully, he gets something out of it, but he lost 17 years. So this story is sad. If you don't wanna hear that, then click off this video. This whole thing started in May 31st, 1999, when a group of men were looking to buy meth. They were all driving together in Kansas City, and that's when they see a man walking down the street. And they decide to approach him because he looked like he might know something about that. The name of this man is Rick Amos, and he tells them that he doesn't have any, but he knows where to get it, and all they need is to get some money. So they pick him up, and then they decide to drive to a nearby Walmart and wait for someone to steal from. And around 8 p.m. they see a woman who just parked, and she was struggling to get out of her car. So Ricky gets out of his car and decides to take her purse. However, she fights back. So there's a bit of a struggle and he's unable to take the purse. He only takes the cell phone and that's it. And the problem is that because they were fighting or they were struggling, the woman fell down and she scraped her knee. And because of that reason, it turned from a petty theft to a aggravated robbery. And because it was a public place, there was obviously witnesses who saw the whole thing and they saw the license on the car. So they called the police, and when they come, they talk to the woman, the victim, the security guard that was outside, and another person that was nearby. And because everything happened so fast, they weren't able to see the guy properly. So everyone was giving different descriptions. You know, like there was someone who said that he was a light-skinned black man, or he was a dark-skinned Latino, or a really tan white man. So it wasn't really accurate, you know? The only thing that they could agree on was that he had long hair and that it was pulled back. So anyways, they give the license plate to the police, and the police finds the car and they find the three men who were trying to buy meth, but they don't find Ricky. So the police talks to the three guys, and because they didn't actually know Rick, all they said was that they pick him up and that they call him Ricky. So his name was probably Richard or Rick or something like that. They also give the police a description of what Rick looked like. So the police immediately starts looking in the database for people who match the description and who were named Richard or Rick. And that's when they find Richard Jones. I'm gonna put the picture here so that you can see it by yourself. Not only he matched the description, but he also had a criminal record. And one of the crimes that he committed in the past was robbery. So they put his picture alongside 5 more, and they tell the victim, the witnesses, and the 3 guys in the car to identify the guy. And every single one of them picks out Richard Jones, right? However, now that this whole situation is over and everyone is looking back to it, everyone agrees that the layout that the police gave to the victim and to the witnesses was biased. There wasn't a single one who matched the description besides Richard. So they basically didn't have any other option but to pick him. So that's what they do, and Richard gets arrested. At the time of his hearing, he obviously claimed to be innocent, and he even had a strong alibi. He was at his partner's birthday party, and there were several witnesses who were able to testify that they saw him and that there was no way that he was there when everything happened. And even the next day, he spent the whole day cleaning up after the party and just hanging out with his girlfriend. So there was no way, basically. But even with this alibi and the fact that there's no physical evidence that he was there at the time of the crime, the jury decides to still find him guilty because he had a criminal record and there's no any other suspects. So in April of the year 2000, he gets charged with aggravated robbery and he's sent to prison for 19 years. He obviously tried to appeal, but it didn't work, and he tried this over and over again for 15 years. We don't know much about what happened while he was in prison, but we know for sure that he didn't lose hope and that he was trying to fight to see his family again. During his time in prison, he would constantly get confused with Ricky Amos by some of the inmates and even some of the guards. And at first, he didn't think too much about it because, you know, it happened. But it started happening so much that he started getting suspicious about it. But anyways, one day he finds out about the Midwest Innocence Project, which is a project that exonerates and releases people who were wrongfully convicted. And they obviously take Richard's case. The person in charge of his case starts investigating by reading the police report and the trial transcripts, and they notice that the whole case relies on eyewitness identification, something that is proven to not be accurate. And the team that was working on the case, they knew that if they wanted to overturn the conviction, they would need to find another suspect. So they decide to talk to Richard to see if he had any leads or any information. And that's when he tells them about Ricky Amos, someone who the inmates told him that he looks just like him and that he also lived in Kansas City. So the team looks into it, and they immediately see how similar the two of them look. So what they do is that they take the pictures to the victim and also the three guys that were trying to buy the meth, and the team asks them, if you were presented with these two, would you be able to choose who did the crime? And every single one of them said no, and they all gave a written statement. Something else that made the case stronger was that at the time of the crime, when the police found the car, it was parked right outside of Ricky's home. So basically they presented all of this evidence to the judge, and the judge reversed the jury trial and decided to dismiss the case. So in June 8th, 2017, Richard was finally free.
This morning, a man who says he was wrongfully convicted, imprisoned for 17 years, now free after tracking down his own doppelganger.
I hope and prayed every day for this day to come, and and when it finally got here, it was an overwhelming feeling.
Look at them side by side, both men with almost identical skin tone, facial hair, and cornrows.
Once I seen his picture beside mine, and I seen the resemblance that me and him had, I just knew, that it was understandable why, other people said the same thing.
Richard Anthony Jones was officially released from prison, having done 17 years out of the 19 that he was sentenced to. And because of the statute of limitations in Kansas, Ricky Amos was not convicted and he wasn't charged with any crimes. But even then, he was questioned about the situation and he denied being involved in any type of way. But I guess it doesn't matter. Richard didn't have any negative feelings towards Ricky. So basically he just wanted to move forward. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to be with his family and just enjoy the rest of his life.
You never think it can happen to you till it really happens. You waking up in a prison cell every day for a crime you didn't commit. It's unbelievable.
He says he now just wants to focus on those close to him.
Just spend time with my family. You know what I mean? Like, just my granddaughter. This is my first time even holding her and seeing her in person.
However, in 2018, 1 year later after he was released from prison, Kansas passed a law that will give compensation to people who were wrongfully in prison. So basically, something that Richard qualified for. So he filed a petition asking the state to pay him $1.1 million or about $65,000 for each year, which in my opinion is a little low. I feel like he deserves way more than that. But anyways, he asked for that and also asked for what I'm putting on the screen. There is a bunch of stuff, basically. He didn't have to struggle to get any of this because, he deserved it. Like, he was 25 when he first went to prison, and when he got out, he was 41. So basically, he spent, almost half of his life in prison.
These exclusive videos, Jones got his first taste of freedom in 17 years. And 41 Action News reporter Ray Daniel was there as he held his granddaughter for the first time.
It's unbelievable. I didn't see myself being here. It's been 17 years. Something I didn't do, but I'm thankful. I'm blessed.
So anyways, before I keep going, I just want to tell you, if you want the story to have a happy ending, you should end the video here, because there's more to the story. That is basically more information that I found from 2019. And it's sad. So basically, if you want the video to end here when he's out, he gets the money, you should end it. You should end it right now. So yeah, I don't know, because I feel bad. I thought that it was the end of the story, but then I kept researching to make sure that I had everything right, and I found more. If you're still watching this, I guess that you still want to see it and you want to know what happens at the end. So basically, in 2019, the police responded to a domestic disturbance call, which was basically a fight between Richard and another person. We don't know who they are or why they were fighting for, but basically the police gets there, they separate the two of them, and Richard immediately starts running away, and the police notices that he had a handgun in his waist. So they start chasing after him down a flight of stairs, but Richard is faster and ends up escaping. And then in March 5th, the police spotted him again, and they saw him getting into a car, and as soon as they do that, they start chasing him and he starts driving away. He starts speeding and it gets to the point where he loses control of the vehicle and he crashes. So the police gets to him and he gets out of the car and starts running away, right? So basically he did that for a couple of minutes and then he gets caught because he was hurt from the accident. And when they finally detained him, they saw that he had cocaine and marijuana. And when they started searching the car, they saw that he had more weapons than the handgun. And because of the reason, he was charged with 3 counts of being a felon in possession of firearms and 2 counts of possessing substances. And basically that's all we know. As I said before, this is happening in 2019. We don't know if he was charged with this and he was convicted again, or if the case is still going on. We don't know anything. So yeah, basically, yeah, I don't know. I kept researching and I found this last night. So yeah, basically that's it. I didn't find this out until last night when I was writing the script and making sure that I had everything. So yeah, I'm sorry it's not a happy ending, because I don't know, I was happy. I thought that at least he got the money, at least he had, you know, his family or whatever, but then I don't know, he got into trouble. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for watching the whole thing. I don't want to sound like a bitch, but if you want to support me, please like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do with this video, or my other social media accounts. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you.